Hi Nana, good morning. We were learning about the study of gas lamps. Okay, so in that we have seen the characteristics of gases in our previous video. Now we will learn about the variables of gases. Variables of gases. Okay, see actually when any gas, if it is subjected to a change in volume, or else if any gas is subjected to a change in temperature, or else if any gas is subjected to a change in pressure, what happens? These gases, they change their behavior. Okay, when gases are subjected to either change in volume or change in temperature or change in pressure, what happens? They change their behavior. Okay, so scientists, they have studied the behavior of gases when volume or temperature or pressure is changed. Okay, and they have observed the behavior of gases. Okay, and studied, and they have given the behavior. They have explained this behavior. Okay, by certain rules known as gas laws. What are gas laws? Gas laws are nothing but the rules which explain the behavior of several gases. The behavior of gases. Okay, so such rules are said to be gas laws. Okay, look here, this volume, temperature, pressure, and one more thing, amount of gas, amount of substance, or else amount of gas. Okay, these are said to be variables of gas. So so fourth one is what? So one is volume, another one is temperature, another one is pressure, and fourth one is amount of substance. Generally, okay, we'll discuss about amount of substance also. So these four are said to be variables of gases, or else they are also called as measurable properties. Measurable properties of gases, or else variables of gases. Suppose if one of the variable is changed. Okay, see, suppose if there is a gas, if there is a gas, what happens? So this gas is having certain temperature. So this gas is having certain temperature. This gas is occupying certain volume, and it is having some pressure. Okay, so all and it is having some amount. So it is some amount of gas. So suppose if one of the variable, so these are all called as variables of gases. What? Volume, temperature, pressure, and amount of substance are said to be variables of gases. If one of the variable is changed, if one of the variable is changed, then other variables are affected. If one of the variable is changed, then other variables are affected. For example, when temperature of gas is changed, what happens? Then volume and pressure also changes. Okay, if temperature of the gas change, then what happens? The volume of the gas and pressure of the gas also changes. So like this, if one of the variable is changed, then other variables are also affected. So now we will learn about these variables one by one. So volume, temperature, pressure, and amount of substance. So all these variables we will learn one by one. So first of all, we'll start with volume. What is volume? Volume is nothing but the space occupied, the entire space occupied by any substance is said to be volume. Suppose if this is the gas, suppose if this gas is enclosed. Enclosed means kept. If a gas is kept in a vessel, or else if a gas is enclosed in a vessel, or else a vessel is enclosed by a gas. Okay, so now the space occupied by this particular gas, okay, throughout the entire space occupied by this gas is said to be volume. Volume is nothing but the space, the entire space occupied by a substance is said to be volume. See, generally volume, it is measured in several units. if you see the units of volume, so volume may be measured in milliliters. Okay, 1 milliliter is equal to 1 centimeter cube. Remember that 1 milliliter is equal to 1 centimeter cube, or else 1 milliliter is equal to 1 centimeter cube, or else cubic centimeter, or else cc, 1 cc. So 1 milliliter is equal to 1 cc. 1 cc means cubic centimeter, or else centimeter cube. So that means centimeter cube is, it is a unit of volume. Milliliters are also unit of volume. Cubic centimeters, okay, cc is also unit of volume. Even liters, volume is measured in liters. 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliters, or else 1000 centimeter cube, or else 1000 cc, or else 1 decimeter cube. 1 decimeter cube is equal to 1 volume. 1 liter. 1 decimeter cube is equal to 1 liter. 1 meter cube is equal to 1 meter cube contains 1000 liters. So like this, volume can be measured by using several units. Okay. Now, generally, gases always occupies complete volume of the container. Gases always occupy what? They occupy the the entire complete volume of the container. So that is why the volume of the container is said to be volume of the gas, or else the volume of the gas is said to be volume of the container. So like this, we can discuss about the points about the volume. Next, after volume, we will discuss about the temperature. So now we will discuss about temperature. These are all called as variables of gases, or else they are also called as measurable properties of gases, or else measurable properties simply. So now the next measurable property, or else next variable is temperature. Generally, temperature can be defined like this: the degree of hotness, of an object, or else the degree of hotness of a body. Okay, any object. Suppose how hot it is. So the how hot it is. Suppose it is having some hot. So how much hot it is? So that value, degree means the value. The value of hotness is called as temperature. Suppose its value of hotness is measured in 30 in temperature. For example, its temperature is 30 degrees centigrade. What is the temperature of this tester? 30 degrees centigrade. So that means it is having the hotness related to 30 degrees centigrade. Okay, so that means degree of hotness of an object is said to be temperature. Okay, generally it is also called as temperature is the average kinetic energy. Average kinetic energy of the average kinetic energy of its molecules. Average kinetic energy of its molecules. For example, suppose if there is a gas and all these are what? Molecules. So every molecule will have its own kinetic energy. So the kinetic energy of all molecules is not same. Some molecules possess more kinetic energy and some molecules possess very less kinetic energy. Okay. In a class, all the students does not get equal marks. Some students may get 99 out of 100 or else 100 out of 100. Some students may get only 25 or 30 marks out of 100. And some students get some marks in between 100 and this least mark. So in the same way, all the molecules in the gas, they does not possess same kinetic energy. Okay, so then if someone says what is the kinetic energy of this gas, if someone says what is the kinetic energy of this gas, then we can say the kinetic energy of this gas by averaging averaging the kinetic energy of all the molecules. If you average the kinetic energy of all the molecules, then the so obtained thing is said to be average kinetic energy. Okay, so the average kinetic energy of the molecules is nothing but the temperature of that substance. Okay, so temperature of the substance, it is nothing but the average kinetic energy of its molecules. The substance is having certain the molecules. So if you calculate the average kinetic energy of those molecules, then that average kinetic energy of the molecules, it is a measure of temperature, or else temperature is a measure of average kinetic energy of the molecules. Okay, if average kinetic energy of molecule increases, its temperature increases. So generally, average kinetic energy can be represented like this: kinetic energy AVG means average. So if average kinetic energy of the molecules increases, if average kinetic energy of the molecules increases, then what happens? The temperature of the substance increases. If you increase the temperature of the substance, automatically the average kinetic energy of the molecules also will increase. Okay, suppose if I heat this gas, what happens? The average kinetic energy of the molecules increases. I am heating means I am supplying the temperature to this one. That means I am raising the temperature of this substance. So if I heat this substance, it is nothing but I am raising the temperature of this substance. When temperature of the substance is raised or else increased, what happens? The kinetic energy also increases. So upward arrow increases. Upward arrow means increase in temperature or else increase in kinetic energy. Okay. So generally, particularly in gases or else in liquids, the temperature is measured in terms of average kinetic energy. Okay, right. So generally, average kinetic energy, it is said to be directly proportional to temperature. What is the meaning of this one? Average kinetic energy is directly proportional to temperature means when temperature increases, average kinetic energy increases. Or else, when average kinetic energy increases, temperature increases. So this is nothing but this one or else this one. Okay. Now the temperature, how to measure the temperature? So that is important. So temperature, it is measured in certain units. We will learn the units of temperature. So temperature is measured either in centigrade or even it is also called as Celsius scale, or else it is measured in Kelvin scale, or else it is measured in Fahrenheit scale. So particularly, so in our chemistry, generally we learn about here particularly we learn only two types of scales. One type of units are said to be degree centigrade units, or else Celsius units. It is denoted by degree centigrade, or else Kelvin units. Kelvin units they are indicated as K. So we don't use degrees for Kelvin. So for Kelvin we should not use degrees. Simply we have to use value. For example, 1 degree centigrade. So for centigrade scale we have to use degrees. 1 Kelvin temperature, or else 1 degree centigrade temperature. So like this we can measure. So remember that. So Kelvin temperature does not have degrees. Okay, so it has no degrees. So look here, the rise in temperature. For example, if a substance is there, and if its temperature is let us assume if temperature is 25 degrees centigrade, its temperature is 25 degrees centigrade. Now, if I heat this substance, what happened? The kinetic energy of the molecules increases. Therefore, the temperature of the substance also increases. So now the new temperature, that means the temperature is rising. So now let us assume if the rising temperature is 27 degrees centigrade. So the new temperature. So that means temperature is raised from 25 degrees centigrade to 27 degrees centigrade. Then the rising temperature, how much rising temperature it is? 2 degrees rising temperature. 2 degrees rising temperature. There is a temperature rising 2 degrees centigrade. Okay. Suppose, see actually the Kelvin temperature there is a relationship between Kelvin temperature and Celsius temperature. Okay. Temperature in Kelvin is equal to temperature in Kelvin is equal to temperature in degree centigrade plus 273. So that means we have to add 273, the value of 273 to this. For example, 25 degrees centigrade. So if your temperature is 25 degrees centigrade, then what is its value in kelvins? In kelvins is dash 25 degrees centigrade. When it is measured in kelvins, so what is its value? So that means, so the given temperature is in centigrade. So now we have to find the value of this temperature in kelvins. So temperature in kelvins can be measured simply by adding 273 to the temperature in degree centigrade. So then now the kelvins, the 25 degrees centigrade is equal to how many kelvins? 25 plus 273 is equal to 298 kelvins. It is equal to 298 kelvins. Okay. So suppose if it is 27 degrees centigrade, then if it is 27 degrees centigrade, then it will be equal to 27 plus 273 is equal to 300 Kelvin. It is equal to 300 Kelvin. Okay. Suppose if a temperature is raised from 298 Kelvin to 300 Kelvin, so what is the change in temperature? It is 2 Kelvin temperature. Okay. So that means, so the rise in temperature in degree centigrade is equal to the rise in temperature in Kelvin value. Okay. So remember that the rise in temperature in degree centigrade will always equal to the rise in temperature. The rise means increase. The rise in temperature, that means the increase in temperature in degree centigrade or else in centigrade Celsius scale, degree centigrade scale or else Celsius scale, both are same. Okay. So the rise in temperature in Celsius scale is equal to the rise in temperature in Kelvin scale. Always it will be like that. Even fall in temperature, rise or fall, that means decrease in temperature in Kelvin scale is equal to the decrease in temperature in the Celsius scale. Okay, that means rise or fall in temperature. Rise or fall in temperature. Okay, in kelvins. In kelvins is equal to rise or fall in temperature. Okay, in Kelvin scale. In Celsius. In Celsius. So that means if you see the difference, so there is a rise in temperature. How much rise in temperature? So the rising temperature is 2 degrees centigrade. If I convert these values into Kelvin scale by using this relationship, now if you compare the rise in Kelvin scale, the rise in temperature on Kelvin scale its value, and its value is also will become 2. So that means the rise in temperature in centigrade scale is equal to the rise in temperature in Kelvin scale, because centigrade scale, if you convert centigrade scale into Kelvin scale, you will get this one. If you convert this value from centigrade scale to Kelvin scale, you will get this one. So the rise in centigrade scale is equal to the rise in Kelvin scale. Okay. Boyle's law. There is a scientist known as Robert Boyle. So actually, he studied how the volume of a certain mass of a gas changes when the pressure on the gas is increased or decreased. So he studied. Robert Boyle is a scientist. He studied about the behavior of the gas, how the volume of the gas is changed, how the volume of the gas changes when the pressure, how the volume of the gas changes when the pressure of the gas is changed. When the pressure of the gas is increased, how the volume changes, and when the pressure of the gas is decreased, how the volume changes. So these studies have been done by a scientist known as Robert Boyle. And in his studies, he found that on increase in pressure, okay, the volume of the gas decreases, and vice versa, and vice versa. What is the meaning of vice versa? The meaning of vice versa is, first, if pressure is increased, volume is increased, or else vice versa means if volume is increased, pressure decreases. So that is the meaning of vice versa. So if you write this one and write vice versa, it indicates that, so the reverse order means if volume is increased, then pressure decreases. So such a relationship was studied by Robert Boyle, okay, in the gases. So, and finally, after the studying such relationship, the Robert Boyle has stated a law. Okay, he has stated that see, when temperature is constant, when temperature of the gas is kept constant, that means temperature is not changed. What is the meaning of constant? So when the temperature of the gas is fixed means kept constant. See, now let us assume the gas is at 25 degrees centigrade. Let us assume that the gas is at 25 degrees centigrade. So what is the temperature of the gas? 25 degrees centigrade. So at this temperature, so if you increase the pressure on the gas, what happens? So when pressure is increased on this, so what happens? The piston will move inside. So what happens? All the gas will be collected here only. All the gas is collected here. So that means all the gas molecules will move down. Okay, now, so initially the volume was this one. This much volume. But with increase in pressure, the piston has come here. Now the volume is changed to this much only. That means there is a decrease in volume. So it is initial volume and this is final volume. So V2 means here it is final volume. So this is piston. Before that piston was here. Now the piston is here. Why piston is here? Because when pressure is increased, the piston will, when pressure on the gas is increased by pushing down the piston. So what is happening? So that means pressure is increased. Pressure on the gas is increased. So that is why volume of the gas decreases. Okay. But still the temperature is 25 degrees centigrade only. That means temperature is not changed. Temperature is fixed. Or else temperature is constant. Okay. So temperature of an enclosed gas. What is the meaning of enclosed gas? When a gas is poured in a vessel, then it is said to be enclosed gas. Okay. Temperature of an enclosed gas enclosed mass of gas, enclosed mass of, so that means temperature of an enclosed mass of gas, So this gas, generally scientists will study the dry gas, not the moist gas, or else not the wet gas. So here dry gas. So dry gas will give good results. Okay. So because we are using pressure, so the pressure and all these things. So for all these things we have to use a dry gas. To study about the pressure and all these things we have to use dry gas. So temperature of an enclosed mass of dry gas. So that means the temperature of what? Temperature of an enclosed mass of dry gas. Okay. Remaining constant. Which one is remaining constant? Temperature. Okay. Remaining constant. Then that means when temperature remains constant, okay, its volume is inversely proportional. Its volume is inversely proportional to pressure. Its volume is inversely proportional to pressure. Okay. So that means temperature of an enclosed mass of dry gas, remaining constant. That means when temperature is remaining constant, that means when temperature is kept constant, because here upon increasing the pressure the volume is decreased, but still the temperature is kept constant. That means temperature is not changed, it is fixed, and even the mass of the gas is also fixed. So there is no change in the mass. So the same mass of gas which was occupying this much volume, so upon increasing the pressure, what happened? The same mass of the gas, it is occupying only little volume, but the mass of the gas is not changed. Suppose if I take 1 gram of gas and applied pressure on it, okay, all the gas molecules will come closer, and even now also the mass of the gas is 1 gram only. That means enclosed mass of dry gas means, that means here mass of the gas is fixed and even the temperature is also fixed. Okay, so mass of the gas is fixed. Here the mass of the gas is fixed and even temperature also remaining constant. Remaining constant means even temperature is also fixed. So under these conditions, under which conditions? When mass is fixed, that means mass is constant and temperature is also constant. Under those conditions, its volume is inversely proportional to pressure. Volume is inversely proportional to pressure. What is the meaning of inversely proportional to pressure? So if you write like this, so it is said to be inversely proportional. Suppose if I write like this, if there are two terms A and B, so if I write this symbol between A and B, so it indicates that directly proportional. Suppose if I write between if this term is written like this, and if this symbol is kept between A and B, then it is said to be inversely proportional. Okay, so this is directly proportional. A is directly proportional to B, and here A is inversely proportional to B. When directly proportional is there, so it means that if A increases, B increases, or else if B increases, then A also increases. So that is a directly relationship. Okay, this is called as directly relationship. Suppose if A increases, then B decreases, or else if B increases, then A decreases. Okay, such relationship is said to be inversely proportional. So these two are inversely proportional to each other. Pressure and volume are inversely proportional to each other, because when pressure is increased, volume is decreased. Here A and B are directly proportional, because when A is increased, then B is increased. But these two are inversely proportional to each other. So this relationship, the relationship between pressure and volume, it is studied by a scientist known as Robert Boyle. Okay, under a constant temperature and fixed mass of gas. So that means temperature of an enclosed mass of dry gas remaining constant, then its volume is inversely proportional to pressure. Okay, so this is the statement given by Robert Boyle, and it is called as Boyle's law. It is called as Boyle's law. Okay, Boyle's law. Okay, right. So according to Boyle's law, so V is inversely proportional to pressure, or else, so in order to, this is called as proportionality symbol. If I want to convert the proportionality symbol into is equal to symbol, then if I convert this symbol into this symbol, I have to introduce a new term known as constant, proportionality constant. So what is K? K is called as proportionality constant. K is called as proportionality constant. Proportionality constant, or else constant of proportionality, or it is also called as constant of proportionality. A constant of proportionality. So now, so instead of this one, so I am using this one, and again 1 by P, or else V is equal to K into 1 by P, where K is called as proportionality constant. Okay, so this thing I can write like this. What is K? K is called as proportionality constant. So now if I bring the P this side, then it will become PV is equal to K. So which is called as constant, which is a constant. That means the product or else the multiplication of pressure and volume is always remains constant. The product of pressure and volume is constant always. Under which condition? So this is okay, but when this is under which conditions? Under the constant temperature and the fixed mass of gas. When the mass of the gas is not changed and when the temperature is not changed, only under these conditions the product of pressure and volume, okay, will remain constant. So like this Robert Boyle has established a relationship between the pressure and volume. Okay, so that means according to this concept, the product of pressure and volume is always constant. Okay. So from this we can say that the product of pressure and volume, okay, pressure and volume is always constant for a fixed temperature and a fixed amount of gas. Okay, for a fixed temperature, that means at constant temperature and a constant amount of substance. Amount of substance means generally amount of substance is measured in mass. So that means mass of substance is constant and temperature is constant. Under these two conditions, the product, what is the meaning of product? Product means multiplication, P into V. So the product of pressure and volume is always constant. Pressure and volume is constant. Okay. So now if a gas is subjected to several changes in pressure, so then how the change in volume will take place? Let us see. Suppose I have taken a gas in a cylinder I have taken a gas, okay, in a cylinder, and now I have fitted a piston to this. So now this is a piston. I have fitted piston to this. So this is called as piston, and this is cylinder, and gas is present in the cylinder. Now how much amount of gas is there? Here it is the volume of the gas. It is a 2 liters volume. So what is the volume? Volume of the gas is 2 liters. Now the pressure on the gas. Now let us assume the pressure on the gas is 10 centimeters of mercury. So now the pressure of the gas is 10 centimeters of mercury. So under these conditions, so what is the product of pressure and volume? So now let us assume this is the pressure is P1 and the volume is V1. Let us assume the volume is V1. So the product of pressure and volume is equal to how much? So 2 into 10 is equal to how much? 20. The product of pressure and volume is 20. So here let us assume the temperature. Let us assume the temperature is equal to 25 degrees centigrade, and mass is certain amount of mass. Okay, a certain amount of gas, certain mass of gas. So now what I did, I have changed the pressure. I have increased the pressure. The same cylinder, the same gas. So now what happened? I have increased the pressure on it. So when pressure is increased, what happened? Pressure on the gas is increased. So what happened? The piston will come down. It will move down. Let us assume the piston. So it has come down here. So how much pressure? Now the pressure is increased. So now let us assume I have taken 20 centimeters of mercury pressure. Now I have increased the pressure to 20. Before that, the pressure on the gas is 10 only. Now the pressure is increased. So whenever pressure is increased, volume should decrease. So that means the volume is here, before that it was 2 liters. Now the volume has become only 1 liter because the pressure is doubled. When pressure is doubled, volume will become half. When pressure is tripled, volume will become 1/3. When pressure is increased by 4 times, then volume will decrease by 4 times. So like this. So now the volume of the gas has become only 1 liter. So now the new volume is V2. Now it has become only 1 liter. Why it is 1 liter? Because remember that always the pressure and volume, always remember that the product of pressure and volume should remain constant. So that means what is the pressure? Here in this case pressure is, the product of pressure and volume should remain constant. So here what is the constant value? Product of pressure and volume is what? How much? Constant. So 20. So it should be equal to 20. So because the temperature is same and even the mass of the gas is same. So here if I take 1 gram of gas, the same here also 1 gram of gas it will be, because upon increasing the pressure all the gas molecules will come closer, but still the mass of the gas will be only 1 gram. So that means the product of pressure and volume, if it is 20, then here also should be equal to 20. That means pressure, when pressure is increased from 10 to 20, then volume will become how much? So 20 into how much will be equal to 20? So it will be 1. That means volume will become 1 liter. 20 into 1 will be 20. So the pressure and volume, before that the product of pressure and volume was P1 and V1, and after increasing pressure, so there is a decrease in volume, and now what is the value of this one? Before that it was 20, and even after increasing the pressure also, due to the decrease in volume, again it has the product of pressure and volume has become 20 only. That means the product of pressure and volume, okay, so under initial conditions it will be equal to the product of pressure and volume under final conditions, okay, when temperature and mass of the gas is not changed. So P1 V1 will be equal to P2 V2. Okay, suppose
Suppose if I further increase the pressure, suppose if I further increase the pressure, so now third case I am taking the same thing. So now pressure I have increased. So here before the first initial I have taken 10 and in the second case I have taken 20. That means I have doubled. So when pressure is doubled, volume has become half, because initial volume was 2, now the volume has become 1 liter. So when pressure is doubled, volume become half. Suppose if pressure is tripled, that means, so now the pressure is tripled, means 30 centimeters of mercury. If the pressure is tripled, then what should the volume should be? So volume should become 1/3. Okay, so here pressure initially it was 10, now it was 30. That means pressure is made 3 times. Then volume should become 1/3. So what is the initial volume? 2 liter. So now when pressure is increased, what happens? Volume of the gas should decrease by that much amount. So here now the new volume. So now the volume is how much? Now the volume is how much? 1/3. So pressure is how much? Pressure is made 3 times of its initial pressure. 10 centimeters of mercury. So its initial pressure is 10 centimeters of mercury. So now it has become what? 30 centimeters of mercury. That means pressure is tripled. Then volume becomes what? Volume should become, so when pressure is tripled, then volume becomes 1/3. So 1/3 of 2 liters. So 1/3 of 2 liters. How much it will be? Around 0.66 or else 0.67. Around 0.67 liters. Around 0.67 liters. Now the new volume will be equal to 0.67 liters. How did we get this 0.67? Because remember that the product of pressure and volume, so P3 V3, so it should always equal to what? It is always constant. So here it is always constant for a fixed mass of gas and a fixed temperature. So in all these conditions there is no change in temperature and there is no change in mass. So therefore under same temperature and same pressure, same temperature and same amount of gas, or also same mass, the product of pressure and volume should remain constant. So that means here also the product of pressure and volume should be 20 only. In this case also the product of pressure and volume should be equal to 20. So that means the product of pressure and volume is 20. Now the pressure is 30. So 30. So then what will be the volume? So then if you calculate, then V3 will be equal to how much? 0.67 liters. So that means P3 V3 is also equal to 20 only. So that means P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 is equal to P3 V3, so is equal to 20. So like this. So how many times you may do, or with different values of pressure, so the correspondingly the volume will vary based on the pressure. So if pressure is doubled, then volume will become half. If pressure is tripled, then volume becomes 1/3. If pressure is made 4 times, then volume will become 1/4 times. So like this. So he established a relationship between pressure and volume, and he says that the product of pressure and volume is always constant. So these are the initial conditions. So now let us assume these are the initial conditions and these are the final conditions, or else these are the initial conditions and these are the final conditions, or else these are the initial conditions. If these are the initial conditions, now this may be final condition. So like this. So these two are different conditions. Different conditions means different conditions of pressure, okay, and volume. Different conditions of pressure and volume. But temperature and mass of this gas should remain constant. We should not change the temperature of the gas or else mass of the gas. Okay. So like this, Robert Boyle has studied the relationship. So when temperature is same and amount of gas is also same, then P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2, and also it is equal to P3 V3. Suppose if you take another condition, so P4, then V4, related volume is V4, then P4 V4 also should be equal to 20 only, because the product of pressure and volume the product of pressure and volume, the multiplications of pressure and volume, so should always remain constant. Though the pressure is double in this case, but still the product of pressure and volume remains constant. Or else, though the volume is halved, still the product of pressure and volume is constant. Okay, even if you change the pressure, the product of pressure and volume remains constant. Even if you change the volume, the product of pressure and volume remain constant. Okay, so like this, Robert Boyle has studied the relationship between pressure and volume. Okay, right. We will learn the other concept in the next class.